How's it going? So this is a video about priorities. What are your priorities? So goals, what do you want? As I look around, people have a mix of things that they want to achieve. We all want more money, we want the perfect relationship, we maybe want a nice job, we want a place to live. And then we want to be happy and we want to be healthy. And maybe we want to be in the new world, in the fifth or sixth dimension. We want to explore consciousness. Now that's a lot of things that you're spreading out your energy and time over. What's your priority? If it's, there's no wrong move here. If it's more money, well then commit to money and go and make money. And make that your priority. How you work, what you're working towards. A lot of people buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is huge. I don't know what it is now, about 16 grand. That's if you want money. So money doesn't make us happy. We know that. Stuff doesn't make us happy. The relationship doesn't make us happy. They might make us a bit happier. They might make us freer. Money certainly buys freedom, or economic freedom, not freedom. So it depends what your priority is. Now, generally, my videos and articles are about, say, spirituality, or I even don't like that word. I don't know what word to use, but about, our own journey or trying to be free. My priority has been to know who I am and what I'm doing here and to do it. Is that 3 priorities, or maybe it's 1? That's it. That's why I live in my car, and that's why I've lived in my car for just over a year. It wasn't on the long finger. It wasn't a case of, I'm just going to try and buy a house in the meantime. I wonder who I am and what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go on holidays and buy a new car. There's nothing wrong with those things, but it's worth getting our ducks in a row. So if your energy is, I want to know who I am, but I want a new car, and I want to go on holidays, and I want the perfect girlfriend, well then you're spreading your time and your energy on, I want to know who I am, the perfect girlfriend, and the car, and the house, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin, and I'm going to buy gold, and I'm going to invest in a property because I want to get rich. And so you're spreading. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you were to focus on one of those, you'll be more successful. You'll make more money. Or you'll find that holiday that you want and you'll go and you'll enjoy that holiday. Or maybe you'll find the perfect, if there is such a thing as a perfect, or maybe they're all perfect partners. So pick one. I think it's worth sitting down, it's worth contemplating. Go for a long walk, go for a few long walks and think, what do I really want this year? There's no wrong answer. Get your experience with that. You might make the money and you might realize, okay, I have bought some stuff with this money. I'm glad I have this money. And it might free you up to then do other things. And you might think, okay, well now I want, and eventually you might think, I want to know who I am and I want to know what I'm doing here. That's where I was. I knew that the other stuff, as much as I want them, I love fast cars. I love fucking sports cars. I've never owned one, but I will. I love Porsches. I'd like an Audi RS4 Avant. Google that. I just love powerful, fast cars and motorbikes. But they won't make me happy. They don't fulfill me. There's a burst of adrenaline. There's a thrill. There's a temporary, they're enjoyable. They don't make me happy. I wasn't put on earth. I didn't choose to come through the veil so that I could have a Porsche Turbo. I don't think so. There is a possibility, but I'll have to check the contract. I knew that I had work to do here. I knew I needed to know who the fuck I am. I didn't want to fuck around, basically. I didn't want to fuck around for the next 10 years. I'm 40 years of age. What am I doing here? I'd buy a house. Like to have the perfect girlfriend. It's like, no, those days are fucking done. I spent 20 years meditating, reading all these books, trying to find out what the hell is going on, and I thought, now, do or die. Throw me in the sea or show me what the fuck I'm doing here. And it's a good place to be. At the end of the line, if you decide that you are committed to something, if you decide you're committed on traveling the world, you'll change, your life will realign. You might leave that partner. You might get rid of the expensive apartment or the high rent. You might leave your job. You might go to a different job. You might add a second job and you'll accumulate money and you'll go on your trip around the world. It forces you to realign. If you decide, I need to know who I am no matter what, That might force you to remove certain people from your life or to change countries. In the last year and a half, it forced me to, I knew where the answers for myself was, and that was in ayahuasca ceremonies, breath work, and committing to that work almost every month, again and again and again. I want more. I need to know more. I need to clear more dark energy. I need more power. I need to know more of who I am. There is more instinctually. There is more work to do. So it wasn't an intellectual decision of I should stop now, or I should start to go now, or I'm going to do 3 and then I will be cured and I will be in spiritual bliss. It was instinctually. It was working that muscle and tapping in and working with it. I'm called back. I need to go back. There's more. Who cares why? I need to go back, do the work, find out what happens. Listen to that. Listen to, if you ask yourself what's your priority, listen to the answer. Listen to what comes back. What do I need? And it's a good time to make peace with ourselves. It's a good time to connect with who we are, as opposed to buy the new car or go on a nice holiday. Or those things are okay and they can happen. We can work towards them. But if you feel the call and you need to find that foundation, or now is a good time. And the foundation of connecting with ourselves, with our higher selves, with our spirit, it bleeds into everything. Every relationship, whether you live in your car or not, you find a degree of peace and power. There's an assertiveness. There's a knowing. I'm okay now. I know who I am. I know if I can tolerate that person, if I want to be around that person or not. I know what's bullshit and what's not for me. So give yourself some time, think of what is your priority or priorities, and maybe write them down. Let that sink in. Remind yourself. I wouldn't say get up the next day and then start building a plan and work towards it, but as long as you remind yourself this is where I'm going. I suppose the next step is to listen to your instinct. For almost all I've been to 13 ayahuasca ceremonies and probably about 10 breathwork ceremonies. Probably every single one I didn't want to go to them. But I knew instinctively I had to be there. I knew there was work. I knew it was beneficial. People misunderstand their intuition and their gut. They think they're afraid, so they think, oh, I shouldn't go. I was afraid. I was sick. Oh, I can't go. I don't feel like going, so I shouldn't go. That's the fear. That's the mind. That's the mind trying to keep us comfortable at home in front of the TV, away from something challenging. Put the mind in the fucking bin. It's of no use. It's destructive. It's the entities. It's the dark energy that wants to keep you in that comfortable little bubble that you're actually unhappy in anyway. There is benefits and purpose to the mind in weighing up pros and cons, in intellectualizing some stuff, but set that aside. Right now, this is about coming from your gut, from your higher self, from your instinct, and honor that. And that's challenging. That's fucking powerful. So I've utmost respect for people who face that, who know how fucking frightening it is just to face themselves. There are unfounded fears, and then there are fears that are big for us, but to other people would be tiny. Like for me, it was ayahuasca. It was fucking terrifying to keep going back after the things that I saw and what I found so frightening. But now I see it was all just a challenge. It was just to frighten me. It was something I had chosen to flex that muscle, to become stronger, to face these things, to face myself. Because all this stuff was just a reflection of myself. They were all teachers. It was all a lesson. It wasn't bad or evil or dangerous. But for me, I had to keep facing that. I can't just face it once and I'm done. We get comfortable. We get lazy. And we think, I meditated last week. I went to ayahuasca last year. I know that a few people think get sick of me when I get like this, because they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, you're like, I'm extreme. People don't want to dive in, and that's fair enough. I understand that and I respect that. I had to dive in because it was the end of the road. I had no place else to go. I was desperately unhappy. I was depressed. I didn't know what the fuck to do. There was no way out. And I knew I needed to know who I am. I knew I needed to do this work, and I needed to find who I am and what I'm doing here. And I'm getting there. It's still unfolding. And it's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's been a fucking incredible year. Really incredible year. The things that have happened, and I haven't said most of it in videos because I've just thought that people would think I'm mad. But that's it. I hope this was of some use to somebody out there. By all means, contact me, criticise me, or ask questions. I'll do what I can. And be well. Thanks, bye.